to Spartyka Fight League Radio with your hosts Mikey B and Chris Alani.
Let's go to war! It's fight time!
All right, welcome to the Spartyka Fight League, SFL 39 press conference, and SFL radio. I'm Mikey V.
I'm Shane Graham.
And I'm Dan Brooks.
All right, we brought Dan Brooks on. As everyone knows, SFL radio is sponsored by UFC Gym Norfolk, so we brought the general manager, Dan the Man, on. Hooked us up last fight, SFL 38, as a guest host. He did a phenomenal job.
Live now.
Okay.
All right. We are back, SFL Radio, SFL 39, take 2, Maceo Pops. We're doing this again because Sham's not here, so music's feeding into the mixer. You know we don't do that with SFL Radio. And I hit the mute button, but it still recorded it in the program, even though we couldn't hear it. So basically, it was just 10 minutes of music.
I was singing to everybody.
That's it.
He was. It sounded glorious.
But you were nervous, so now you get to do it again.
Right.
You got a practice shot.
Yeah, you got the nerves out of the way?
Yes. Yes, I have.
So for those of you that don't know, Maceo Bobs, or Maceo, is it Maceo or Maceo?
It's Maceo.
Maceo.
You need to remember that. For
I definitely need to remember that. It's all in the enunciation.
Please do.
And you are fighting out of Norfolk?
Yes, out of
for
Norfolk,
your
Virginia.
MMA debut.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yes.
So this being like your first MMA fight that you've ever had, was there any kind of like special training that you did or adjusting it to that mentally? How did you mentally prepare yourself for this fight coming up next week?
Really, being that I had never fought before, it was just setting my mind up to come in here and be a winner, a champion. Knowing that if you want to take this a little further, this first fight is going to say a lot, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So
it's going to make a mark.
Carrying myself as a champion.
What gym do you train at? Do you train out of a specific gym or?
No, not necessarily. I do have an uncle and a dad who have a background in martial arts, and
Okay.
they've been kind of taking care of the training part.
So they'll be in your corner?
Yes, they will.
Awesome.
My dad will be. My uncle may not be able to make it, but I know my dad will be.
Okay. So I always feel like I know you because we just did this, but you are a veteran, right?
Yes.
What
United
service?
States Marine Corps.
And how long did you serve?
Didn't do my full contract. Signed an 8-year contract, but did 2.5 years. Got medically discharged.
Okay. And what made you decide to jump into MMA?
Always having that fighter background. Unfortunately, in school, it kind of started there, and then my parents put me in martial arts because I was fighting in school. I had actually done Spartan race, done a lot with that. Just decided to take it a different avenue as far as athletics.
So you would, I think it's safe to assume that your conditioning's pretty good.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you've been, we talked about that. You had been to the Ted Constant Center, so you know about the awesomeness that is the Ted Constant Center with the Jumbotron and just the energy that's in there for the fights.
Another reason that brought me to it.
So I'm excited to see you walk down for your first time there.
Yes. Yeah.
Via fight.tv because I will be out of town that weekend, but I will be watching on pay-per-view, and you can also watch on pay-per-view at fight.tv, SFL 39.
Yes, the pay-per-view is going to be live on Fight TV. This is going to be a good card.
It is.
We've got a lot of fighters locked in thus far. Tentatively, a really good card. A couple of titles on the line. A couple of #1 contender bouts as well.
And your opponent is actually an SFL 14 veteran, correct, Shane?
Yes, he comes back all the way from SFL 14, going back even further than that, from the infancy of Spartyka as even just a clothing line. He was fighting back at Cage Fest Extreme back when Jimmy was doing the clothing line, the very earliest roots of Spartyka.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, he hasn't fought since 2014, so there is a question mark there. He's got 5 years. We'll see what he's been doing during that time. And anything you want to say to him?
I hope you're ready. I hope you've been training because I'm prepared to get it.
All right.
Nice, man.
Well, we'll see you in the cage, and we'll actually see you at weigh-ins next Friday at Kelly's.
Yeah, we'll see you. Alaskan Road, Kelly's, the weigh-ins, SFL 39. But we look forward to seeing you inside of the cage. Ted Constant Convocation Center, Norfolk, Virginia. Doors open at 5:30. Prelims are going to be starting at 6:30, and our main card will be starting 7 o'clock.
All right, good luck. We'll see you this week.
Yeah, good luck to you, man.
Maceo Bobs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SFL 39 press conference and SFL radio show. God, I love the fact that we do those
Together.
We actually need to.
We only did this once, remember? In Eden, we did this.
Yes, God bless. That was a long time ago. That was
one of
up in
our
North
first
Carolina,
shows.
one of our first shows, and that was, I forgot how much fun this is.
Yeah.
Hey, but we're here for the press conference at Mona Lisa Bar and Grill, Military Highway, here in Norfolk, Virginia. Come on out, get yourself something to eat, something to drink, and hear about some of your favorite fighters. And the upcoming SFL 39 show. I'm Shane Graham, joined by
Mikey B, and my co-host Chris Alani is not present today. However, I have Dan the Man Brooks, UFC Gym Norfolk, one of our sponsors for SFL Radio, general manager, also quite the fighter himself.
Yes, just a little bit. I'm filling in for Chris. I kind of look like him. So
kind of. And in the 185-pound weight division, we are joined up here with one of our competitors, Lydell Young Guns Pogue. How you doing, Lydell?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about you?
Doing awesome. Glad to have you up here at the SFL 39 press conference and the SFL radio show. The two great tastes that taste great together.
Yeah.
I like that. So, that's a future T-shirt. So this is your MMA debut. This is our second MMA debut in a row.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I have a little bit of background in like amateur Muay Thai, amateur BJJ. So
Okay.
So you're familiar with combat sports. You're familiar with getting in there and getting your hands on somebody, having that push and pull effect. I guess would be the best way to really describe it. The adrenaline dump that you get as well.
Yeah.
So this is obviously your mixed martial arts debut. You've seen the Spartyka brand before. You've been to the Ted Constant Convocation Center, seen the atmosphere, seen the ambiance. What does it mean for you to make your mixed martial arts debut in arguably the biggest show here on the East Coast?
Actually, you know what? I'm glad you asked me this question, man. It actually means a lot because I go to Old Dominion.
Yes.
So I see the TED every single day. And to be completely honest, man, I felt like this was my calling for the longest time, man. Like, all my life, been beating dudes up. Why not get to do it in front of an audience, you know what I mean? And this is something I can really dedicate myself to, man, while I'm trying to put myself through med school or get in med school. So,
have you looked into your opponent at all? To Josh?
I got I like Google searched him, Facebook searched him. He seems like a cool dude, you know.
So Lydell, putting this into perspective, this being your first like MMA fight and hopping into this big stage in the Spartyka Fight League, how much time did you spend training and preparing for this fight?
So I try to work out like 5 times a week, like maybe 2 times a day, like 2 a days. Are you familiar with football? So, but I ended up doing more so like 4 days a week because I was already like 195. So I cut from 195, and right now I'm around like 187, 188, like taking it slow, and I feel good. To be completely honest, man.
Awesome.
All that's left is to get in there.
Yeah.
Make a statement.
Yeah.
You look ready. You look confident.
I'm so
you look
ready, man. I've never been more ready for something in my life, man. I just got to get out there and dance. That's what it is.
That's that simple. It really
That's
is.
simple.
Yeah.
No, it really is.
And you got that home
man.
you got that home turf feel there, which is we have some other fighters that are ODU alumni, and they definitely get that home turf vibe there, which is cool.
Yeah, man, and I'll have like a lot of Old Dominion support out there too, man. So,
So, I mean, this is the first in obviously what you expect to be a long journey. Where do you see yourself going? I mean, you've been watching the show for a long time. I mean, you see ODU all the time. You're actually fighting at ODU. What are some of your aspirations? Where do you see yourself going in this sport?
In the least cockiest way possible, I'm going to be a world champion. It's set in stone. Like, you know what I mean? I got my mind set on it. I'm determined. I'm at 185 right now, but I'm pretty sure I can make 170 pretty comfortable once I get a gym, like once I get into a gym. So for right now, just get in there and make statements on the amateur circuit, man, until someone shows some interest and taps into this potential. That's all I can do. But mark my words, man, one day.
Well, if you're getting down to 170, I think you'll probably be interested to watch that 170 title fight this coming up week. See if that's something you want to maybe look at for the future.
Maybe I should, man. Maybe.
That's going to be an awesome fight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to pretty much every fight on this card, even though they're not necessarily very well known names. It's the guys like this that are up and coming and hungry that really have something to prove, and we look forward to seeing what you have to offer inside of there, Mr. Lydell Young Guns Pogue. Going to be fighting at 185 pounds, SFL 39, Ted Constant Convocation Center, June 22nd.
Anything else you want to say to your opponent, real quick?
Let's give the people a show, man. Let's get in there and
I like it. Yeah.
Love your attitude.
Yeah.
All right, looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. We'll see you inside of the cage.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you, man.
Thanks, man.
Welcome back to the SFL 39 press conference and SFL radio episode. I am Mikey V.
I am Shane Graham.
And I'm Dan Brooks.
And we are joined here by a competitor in the 205-pound weight division, Evan, the Silverback Stevens.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Evan?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thanks for being here.
There we go. So, Evan, this is your first MMA fight?
Yes, sir.
It's the third in a row.
Third one.
We have a lot of new names to this fight, which it's funny, we were talking about that earlier. There's a lot of new names to Spartyka Fight League, but, a lot of our well-known names were new names at one point.
You betcha.
And I think a lot of times some of those are the best fights because you get this new blood in here, and they're hungry, and they got something to prove, and we always end up getting an awesome fight out of it. So I'm really looking forward to this just because of the amount of newness that's on this card.
Absolutely. I'm also looking forward to this fight, too, because of some of the gyms that are being represented here.
Yep.
I mean, and that's one thing that we never have a shortage of, are very well-known, very well-established gyms with some amazing coaches, amazing talent training these people here in the training out of Team Gustavo Machado, a very well-known staple in the SFL circuit, in the mixed martial arts circuit. Team Gustavo Machado, very big name. So what does it mean for you to compete here on SFL for your MMA debut?
I mean, it means everything. Just the beginning of my career. That's how I look at it. Yes, sir.
All right. What made you decide to jump in the cage?
I've always been a street fighter. I love fighting, and then it's a right fit for me. Just natural.
I mean, so do you have any other combat sports experience? I'm sure training out of Team Gustavo Machado, you've been to a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments. You're not unfamiliar with the fight game. You said you did any street fight. Have you done any formal kickboxing, Muay Thai, or is this just something hey, I want to get in there and test my mettle?
Pretty much, yes, sir. I wrestled in high school, but other than that, I mean, I'm fairly new to jiu-jitsu. I'm a white belt still, so this is the dawn of a new era.
So you said you wrestled in high school. Obviously, it was really easy for you to adapt to the jiu-jitsu game.
Yep, exactly.
So when you went into the whole striking aspect and added that to your training, were there any struggles that you had, or anything that did it feel natural to you?
Yeah, it felt pretty natural. Just practice. That's pretty much it. Yep.
All right. And your opponent has he's fought for us, correct?
Yes, Terrell Brittingham.
Terrell. Have you looked into him at all?
I think I saw one of his fights.
Okay.
I think he lost. I think he got choked out or something.
Okay.
Yeah, Terrell fought with us at SFL 33 and again at SFL 37, the last SFL. Right. He fought against Richard Humpert. So he's coming back looking to come back and redeem himself, make a name for himself. It's always neat when we have fighters coming back, but like you said, it's always neat when we have somebody that's coming in that's eager, young, hungry, and looking to make a name for themselves. Yep. And I think we have that here with.
And he has no idea what to expect with you.
Yeah,
that's the good thing, right? Yeah, the element of surprise.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out there for your first fight. You have anything you want to say to your opponent?
Good luck. God bless.
All right. Well, good luck to you, and we will see you next week.
All right. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you.
Thanks, brother. All right, guys.
Mr. Evan Stevens. All right, buddy. Thanks. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SFL 39 press conference and SFL radio show here live. Mona Lisa Bar and Grill, Military Highway, Norfolk, Virginia. I'm Shane Graham, joined by
Mikey V.
And Dan Brooks.
And we are on the phone live with one of our competitors, 145-pound weight division, Mr. Clay Bucci. Did I get your last name right?
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
All right, Clay. So you're fighting Dakota Donnells, 145. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing to prepare for this fight.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was that?
Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing to prepare for the fight.
just getting in the gym, working hard, putting my time in, putting the work in. I have excellent training partners, so that helps. My coach is amazing. Just working hard, man.
So this is obviously your SFL debut. Is this also your mixed martial arts debut?
Yeah, it is.
That's the fourth one.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
We were just commenting. It's the fourth fighter in a row that is MMA debut. So a lot of new blood. Very exciting.
So Clay, this being your first MMA fight, how hungry are you, man?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I've been waiting for a while, so I'm just looking forward to getting in there and doing some work.
What made you want to get into the MMA atmosphere?
I've always thought about doing it, and I'm originally from New Jersey, and I trained a little bit, in New Jersey. When I got to North Carolina, I didn't really have anything to do, so I hopped into the gym one day and just that was it.
Nice.
So we know you're hanging out there with Jacob Lamb, who we're also going to talk to. Have you been training with Jacob?
Yeah, every day.
Awesome. Was there anything you want to say to your opponent, Dakota?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know his name until you just said it. So I got nothing to really say. It's going to be an exciting fight. I look forward to it, and hopefully he comes ready.
Yeah, let your skills do the talking when you step inside of the cage at SFL 39.
All right, brother. We'll see you next week. We'll see you at the weigh-ins on Friday. Good luck, and if you could put Jacob on.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Serious.
Yep.
Mr. Clay Bucci, everybody.
Jacob, you on?
Yep, I'm right here.
How's it going, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. So you are live here at Mona Lisa Bar and Grill in Norfolk. We got you on SFL Radio as well. So #1 contender fight. You're going up against Chris Simpson, 170. How you feel?
Feeling pretty good. Feeling real good.
You should. You're coming off a 3-win streak, so.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, fighting against a really tough guy in Chris Simpson. Obviously, this is going to be for the #1 contender spot. You're probably going to be fighting the winner of our 170-pound title between Zach Kraft and Craig Wellingham. What does it mean for you if you come out victorious come Saturday, and or not this Saturday, or next Saturday?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
What was the question?
I said, how does that feel to you? You're on a 3-fight win streak. You're fighting for the #1 contender status. You're right on the cusp for fighting for an SFL title. How does that feel? What does that mean to you? Have you done anything differently in your training to prepare yourself for success?
It's awesome, but it's it's nothing different. It's just another fight. Don't hype it up bigger than it is. Make it, hype yourself out. Just another fight. I'm not looking forward. I'm not looking past it. I'm not thinking about the title shot or anything. I got to get through this one first. But I haven't been doing anything different. Just same stuff. Don't change the game. Don't change my game up. Just work harder and get better at it. Improve it.
So, Jacob, anything that from your last fight that you had that you felt like you needed to improve upon? Did you kind of sharpen up some skills in particular areas, or do you just kind of improve overall for your training?
I think you just always take something away from your previous fight. If you're not trying to improve every fight, then you're doing it wrong. So, there's always something you can improve on, no matter what it is. And even little tiny things make a big difference. So, always trying to improve the game and, just be ready.
Yeah, it is the small details that really matter with this kind of stuff. So that's sounds like a good strategy that you got there, man.
All right. Well, we'll see you next Friday. Is there anything you want to say to Chris Simpson? Because he is going to be listening to this, I'm sure.
I don't have anything to say to him.
All right. Well, you'll do that talking in the
Don't
ring.
send me a friend request on Facebook.
He's not that type, I don't think. Yeah. All right, brother.
All right, good deal.
We'll see you at the weigh-ins on Friday, and we'll see you in action on Saturday.
Perfect. Looking forward to it.
We look forward to seeing you inside of the cage. 170-pound weight division, #1 contender status in the SFL welterweight division, Mr. Jacob Lamb.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. SFL 39 press conference and SFL radio show here live. Mona Lisa's Bar and Grill in Norfolk, Virginia, off of Military Highway. Lots of familiar faces we have out tonight. A lot of new faces. Glad to see you guys all out here. I'm Shane Graham, joined here by
Mikey V
and Dan Brooks.
And we're joined here with a phone-in caller, one of our competitors, 185-pound weight division, Mr. Tristan Scarborough. How you doing, Tristan?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Now, before we get to your interview, I wanted to also take note that if we're sitting here looking out in the crowd, like I said, we have a lot of new faces. The Spartyka bling is out there, with the really, really thick chain and the Spartyka logo.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that thing is, I don't want to sound cliche, but that thing is pretty hot.
It is.
But the thing about it is I don't see anybody wearing it for more than 5 minutes at a time.
And then it gets passed.
And then it gets passed because I think that thing is just so dang heavy.
You have to have some serious neck strength.
You got to have some serious neck strength and some serious bling to be able to sport that thing. So at any rate, back to our press conference here. Tristan Scarborough, training out of Fearless Fighting. This is your MMA debut, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'd imagine being out of Fearless Fighting has been represented quite well in the Spartyka cage. Have you seen the Spartyka brand before? Have you been to the Ted Constant Convocation Center to see the awesome production that is Spartyka Fight League?
Yes, I have. It's a great organization. They put on great events. That's what drew me in.
All right. And what made you decide to step in and get your debut?
I've been training for a while, and just waiting to make my debut, and I felt now was the right time.
All right.
So you said you've been training for a while. How long have you been training, leading up to this fight?
Around 3 years, but I've only been under Fearless Fighting for a year.
Okay, so you kind of feel like it's time to showcase your skills a little bit and show everybody what you have, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Professor really sharpened up my skills, so I feel ready.
Good.
So obviously, you're training against a very high-level competitor coming from another solid gym, the Diego Bispo Academy in Harvey Gracie Muay Thai. A lot of great fighters coming out of there. A couple of our champions are from that as well. Do you know much about your opponent? And have you done anything differently, seeing as how this is going to be your mixed martial arts debut?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of this stuff. I know a little bit about it, but I mean, not a whole lot. To be honest, I kind of focus on myself as being my opponent. I don't really worry too much about who my actual opponent is. Because the way I look at it is, when you get in there, you're your biggest opponent. So that's kind of what I work with.
Cool. All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out there. We got a lot of new fighters that we talked about, a lot of new faces that are fighting for Spartyka.
Talent.
That's right. Yeah. But that usually leads to incredible fights, and everybody's got to start somewhere. So we wish you the best of luck next week. Is there anything you want to say to your opponent?
Good luck.
Man, a few words.
Man, a few words. We'll allow it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, we look forward to seeing you inside of the cage. SFL 39, 22nd of June at Ted Constant Convocation Center. We also look forward to seeing you at the weigh-ins, Kelly's Tavern in Virginia Beach off Alaskan Road. For the weigh-ins, SFL 39. This is going to be a good fight. 185-pound division, Tristan Scarborough.
All right, Tristan, thanks for calling in.
Good luck to you, man.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Welcome back to SFL 39 press conference and SFL radio. I'm your host, Mikey V.
I'm Shane Graham.
And I'm Dan Brooks with no glasses on.
Because with all of our fabulous fighters that couldn't be here today that usually wear sunglasses.
Yeah, I'm channeling my inner Samson Saucer.
That's right.
My inner
Marshall.
My inner Marshall Shermer.
That's right. So we did some call-ins. We had some local fighters come out, which is awesome. So there isn't a lot of fighters out today, but I want to thank the ones that came out. The reason is a lot of our fighters are coming from gyms outside of the area today. So there's a lot of people coming in from out of town. Thank you guys for coming out today. Thank you guys for fighting, putting on a good show coming up next week. I'm super excited about it. We got the weigh-ins Friday.
Yes. Alaskan Road, Kelly's Tavern.
So we will be there. SFL Radio will not, sadly, be at the fight, unfortunately. So for all you first-time fighters, usually after you're done fighting, we have our own cool little riser booth in the back. You get to come sit down with us, do some post-fight interviews. Unfortunately, you're getting robbed of that. I apologize for that, but we will make it up to you. We will definitely be at SFL 40. TKO for the Tatas, August 10th. It's one of my favorite ones.
Oh, yeah. I love the TKO for the Tatas
The most
ones.
energy.
I haven't been to that one yet.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, I'm excited.
They do the pink ring, pink gloves. Everything's for breast
Everything's
cancer.
pink.
Yep. So we're excited about that. But we will be back, and we're going to be ramping up episodes. We've been a little slow with SFL Radio this year, just because of everything going on with my business and Jimmy retiring and everything else. But we're coming back strong. So make sure you go on YouTube. SFL Radio, subscribe to the Spartyka Fight League channel. We have our own channel on there.
Man, I had a really good time. Thanks for letting me come out.
Thanks, Dan Brooks.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
You're a regular with SFL now. Like you've come out to the fights. You've cornered fighters. You've been on the show. You've hosted the show. So thank you for all that UFC Jim Norfolk does for Spartyka Fight League and Spartyka Fight League Radio. You are our official podcast sponsor.
Well,
so
we are
like
extremely grateful to be a part of your podcast and SFL Radio, man. 100%.
Next time, bring glasses.
I will. I feel left out, but that's all right.
Nah, you're good. You're good. And then 22nd, Ted Constant Center.
Yeah.
Yes. Doors open at 5:30.
Yes.
Prelims are going to be starting at 6:30. First fight is slated to start at 7 o'clock. Or excuse me, our main portion of the card is going to be starting at 7 o'clock.
We got a lot of fighters that are doing their first MMA fight, so it should be super exciting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Always coming in hungry, looking to prove something, looking to make a name for themselves in the cage and on arguably the biggest stage here on the East Coast. I'm going to go ahead and say it just now.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, not in just Virginia. One of the biggest productions. If you haven't been out to a Spartyka Fight League, definitely make it out, or you can catch us live on Fight TV. If unfortunately you can't make it out, you can watch the pay-per-view.
I will be while I'm on, my work trip. But we will also, we got 13 fights that night, and we have 3 more in the shoot as possible. So we got a great card, and the card changes constantly, and we'll see what happens Saturday night.
I'm excited. I'm excited, man.
So am I. So thank you for joining us out here at Mona Lisa's Bar and Grill. Look forward to seeing you at the weigh-ins next Friday and next Saturday, Ted Constant Convocation Center.
We should have called Jimmy. I didn't think about that.
I
Jimmy
know.
Partica couldn't be here tonight. Jimmy Partica is speaking at a retirement ceremony for one of his shipmates, which is pretty awesome after a long retirement, Navy career. So he did tell me to tell everybody that he said hello and thank you for coming out and showing support.
Yes, thank you to our fighters. Thank you to their coaches and trainers. And thank you to the fans. We'll see you inside of the cage.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Spartyka!